Hey y'all, so if you are here, it means the answer you selected is incorrect. Please watch the full video and listen for the words that will allow you to continue. Now, no worries if you got the incorrect answer. I am going to go over it and explain to you what the correct answer is and why. Now, 5 says, what is the central claim from pages 323 to 328 from the afterword? Now, the afterword is something that is in the back of the book, and you should have read those pages. Remember, central claim is something that can be proven or disproven. So basically, they want to know, what is this section about? And so I am going to focus just on 326 to about 328 or so. He is telling us about how knowing the story behind your food can make it tastier. He's telling you about knowing about the food chain, the health of your family, how important it is. And at the top of 326, he says, I call shopping and eating this way voting with your fork. How you and your family choose to spend your food dollars represents one of the most powerful votes you have. You can vote to support the kind of feedlot where steer number 534 spent his miserable life, or you can vote for farms like Polyface where animals live the lives they were meant to. The land is healed in the process and the farmers make a decent living. That kind of alternative farm was created not only by visionary farmers like Joel Salatin, but by visionary consumers like you. But a consumer can be a creator too by using his or her eating choices to help build a new food chain. That is a potent vote. You get 3 of them every day. But perhaps best of all, when it comes to food, you don't have to wait until you're 18 to start voting. You can start today with your next meal. That doesn't mean we're going to get that vote right every time or at every meal. We won't. Sometimes there are no good alternatives to vote for. Sometimes you're just going to want a Big Mac. There will be those special occasions when you will crave that tall, cold cup of high fructose corn syrup. I mean, a soda. But there's a big difference between the special splurge and the everyday habit. And the problem these days is that fast food has, for many of us, become everyday food. Voting with your fork at school can be a challenge, but it's worth trying to do. How a school spends its food dollars can have tremendous impact on the whole food system. In many schools today, students and parents are working together to improve the food service, to take away the soda machines, to encourage cafeterias to serve real food made from scratch, and even to teach classes on how to grow and cook food yourself. Physical education is already a mandatory part of your school day after all, so why not eating education? It's just as important to your health. Is your school teaching you how to be a lifelong fast food junkie, or is it teaching you the importance and the pleasure of eating real food? It is an exciting time to be an eater in America. You have the option of eating from very different food chains. You can vote with your fork for a better world, one delicious bite at a time. So, we're gonna read through the choices and hopefully the right one pops out at you. A says consumers can vote with their fork and help create a better world by making more sustainable food choices. B says consumers should be vegetarians and stop eating meat in order to solve the omnivore's dilemma. C says students should tell their schools to make better food choices in cafeterias. D says all families should become informed consumers and change the way they're eating to veganism. Now, two answers you can cross off right off the bat because he does not tell you whether you should eat meat or not. He actually mentions farms where the meat is proven and it is sustainable. So he does not tell you either way what you should do. He urges you to make better choices, but he does not tell you to become a vegetarian or to become vegan. So now you're left with A and C. So consumers can vote with their fork. He mentions that multiple times. And then C says students should tell their schools to make better food choices. So, yes, both are mentioned, but C is just a portion of what is mentioned. A better suits because it is telling us about creating a better world by making sustainable food choices. That includes the cafeteria, that includes what you eat at home. A better sums up the entire afterword. And your secret word here is dilemma. Click dilemma to be able to move on to the next section. Have a wonderful day, y'all.